Hey guys, so for our final project this semester, we're going to be exploring some handcrafted typography by creating what's known as an ambigram design. So ambigrams are very unique in the world of typography. They allow you to take apart the basic structure of a letter and then form it in a unique way that can be flipped upside down or rotated, and it still reads exactly the same. If you have a look at the project information, here's what we're going to be going through. First, if you've never seen an ambigram before, I would highly recommend that you do some research, a quick Google search, or even looking on Pinterest or online to get an idea of all the different ways and styles you can create an ambigram. Your job is to research those different styles and techniques and to come up with your own from scratch. Now, to keep things simple, because these can get very complex, especially if you have multiple words, we're only going to need to develop one rotational ambigram. In other words, this needs to be a single word that can be rotated 180 degrees and still reads exactly the same way. Now, the constraints to this is that it has to be at least 5 letters long, and I want you to use either your name or a family member's name, or you can use your hometown, or you can use the title of a book. The reason I'm using these is because these tend to be less common, and I want to challenge you to think outside the box for something that may be difficult to find that somebody else has already done. I want you to come up with your own from your own inspiration. Now, the first thing we need to do is to research some different styles of ambigrams. Find at least 5 to 10 different examples, and these can be easily found. Several different styles can be found, both calligraphic, meaning it looks like it's written with a brush script. You can find modern types, you can find very linear types. Some of these can even be logo type designs. I'm also going to give you a variety of different videos to watch that'll give you an understanding of how you can start your ambigram and also what's been used before. If we jump back into the Moodle page, here's where you can find these demos and techniques. Now, unlike previous weeks, these are not my personal demos. These are things that I've found online of other people showing their technique and talking about how they create their designs. There's a bunch of different ways you can go about this, and it's very creative and open. One of the best tutorials is a step-by-step tutorial is this first one up here. This one will step you through the basic setup of how to start your ambigram, how to line up your letters. Let's see, I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. Yeah, lining up your letters, and then trying to find different parts of the letters and what they should, or commonalities between them, and how you can design these out as well for your design. So have a look at each one of the demos and techniques within this link, and also do other research. I found several examples on Behance.net by just simply doing a search for ambigram name or ambigram logo. And as you can see here, there's a variety of different styles. Some can be very linear. Some of these can be more calligraphic. You're almost reinventing or creating your own typeface. Some of these can be a little bit more modern or more whimsical. In this case, it's more of a logo type of design. But get a good idea of what you want to do for your design before you pick up your word and jump into the next part of the research. Next, once you pick your word, I want you to start by writing or typing out the letters of your word. Doing this in both uppercase and lowercase will make it much easier to get an idea of how you can play around with your lettering. Also, try to go through a variety of different fonts. Remember, this doesn't have to look like just calligraphic style or just a modern typeface. You can come up with your own style of lettering. But once you type everything out, rotate it around and start to match up the letters and try to find something in common with each. Several of the video techniques I'm showing you will talk about how to do this. Finally, develop a rough idea of how you want to pair your letterings together. Now, this sketch part and research part is one thing that you're going to turn into this week's or this project's research forum. In this forum, I want you to simply post your ideas of what you want your word to be, and also post any image research that you may have found online as well. Jumping back into the project portion, the last thing I want you to do is to clean up and refine your design. You can either do this digitally or you can do it by hand, as long as the final thing that you do must be in a single color and demonstrate that it can be still legible or readable when you rotate it around 180 degrees. The final thing that you're going to turn into me is going to be a high quality image, either as a JPEG or as a PDF of your design. So that's what we're going to be working through for this last project. This will take us into the end of the semester, so technically this will be week 6 and 7, and the due date for everything is going to be by May the 2nd. So this will go all the way into our finals week for this week. As always, I'm looking forward to seeing the work that you've done. I'll also be updating grades this week and giving my final feedback as we move into finals this week as well.